Okay, Poppa's House fans, I'm finally caught up on the episodes. This is season 1, episode 10, entitled Elevator Friend. Special guest star Tommy Davidson. So this was a bit of a in living color reunion between he and Damon Wayans. So this was really cool. Solid 8 out of 10. I enjoyed the episode. Split up into two parts in terms of the storyline. So the episode starts off with Junior coming by his dad's house, and Pops has a couple of tickets to the Mets game, and he wants to spend time with his son. Hey, me and Leon, a reference to his friend who passed away a few episodes ago. We were supposed to go to the game, but I want you to come with me instead. But in terms of friends, Junior's old friend Todd, now going by Preston, college buddy from film school, he's coming to town, so they're going to hang out. And now it's a matter of, well, Pops doesn't really have any friends outside of Leon, and since Leon passed away, who's he going to hang with? And he mentions, like, well, this guy from the building I used to work at for the radio show, we never really hung out outside of work. Heck, I don't even know his real name. I just called him 10. I just know that whenever we hung out on the elevator, we would mess around, people joke around, so maybe I can get in contact with him. So that's pretty much where the episode begins. Now, in terms of Preston, he shows up to Nina and Junior's house, and apparently it's a big deal because one of his scripts blew up from pretty much, a black parody of the movie A Quiet Place. He made one called A Loud Place, and then he's getting some sequels, Louder and Loudest Place, and he gets Junior and Nina to reenact one of the scenes from his scripts, and you could just tell by the context that he's not too fond of Nina, because Nina apparently feels like before Preston even shows up, you think Todd is still mad about you and him dissolving your film company. So it just seems that, and I could tell what was going on a few minutes in, Nina probably got in the way of these two blowing up together in the film industry, because it's an age-old story. A group of friends, sometimes one or two people or more, they are working towards something, but then one of them falls in love, and then they decide to, pursue other things rather than their dream. They start a family. And you could just tell Todd resents Nina as a result, because it's all in the script that they're acting out, where, the kids and Nina die, and he and Junior go off and they become successful. Not going to lie, it's 2025. I thought it would have been something where Todd was secretly in love with Junior and he resents Nina. That would not have surprised me. Thankfully, that is not the route they went with. But basically, towards the end of the episode, after they had dinner together, Preston wants Junior to come to LA to be the director of the sequel, assistant director. But it's one of those things where it'll take a few weeks to do it. And, he just says, man, just forget about your wife and kids. Just come on and have some fun. It's like, we can really make something. And he pretty much shuts him down in terms of, look, I'm where I need to be. You're where you need to be. Yeah, you have the nice house and whatnot, but I have a home. And I can actually understand that. I'm a person where when I was in college, I wanted to be a songwriter. One of these days, I need to do some with all them songs and poems I wrote. I will someday. And I remember, and that was not even my major, though. And I remember trying to link up with people who actually were in music and whatnot. But it's crazy that I had more of a drive than they did. So it's one of those things where I'm like, forget it. I'll just do my own thing. And that's what I'm doing now. But yeah, there's a difference because, trust and believe, I have a house, but they do say a woman will make it a home. But then you look at the divorce rate and there is some truth to that. Sometimes I do wish I had somebody that kept me grounded, so to speak. Like, okay, Jeremy, you done worked enough today. Sometimes you need to rest. I made you a meal. But I will say this, one thing about having my house, I do like cooking my own food. I've cooked so much. And not like I cook every single day, but I've cooked more since I moved into my house than I ever have in my entire life. And that's no lie. I'm not talking about sticking something in the oven or the microwave or the air fryer. But I mean like legit cooking. And it's such a good feeling. But yeah, I just feel like it does suck when you and another person were working towards something, but then that other person diverts into another direction, usually because of romantic interest. and you just see them wasting their potential, but you know, they're where they need to be. And if you're thriving, that's cool, but sometimes you wish your buddy was there too. So Pops overheard the conversation, and he never really liked Preston, but you know, Junior's like, yeah, I'm setting boundaries rather than just cutting him off completely. And it turns out he throws that in Pop's face, like, yeah, that's why you don't have any friends right now. So earlier in the episode, Pops goes back to his old building, gets on the elevator, and meets up with 10. The energy is just there. Tommy Davidson hasn't lost a beat. And, you know, they go back to messing with people on the elevator. It's just funny, closing the door on people, you know, pretending to sneeze, that kind of stuff. But then again, you know, after 2020, ain't nothing funny about pretending to sneeze on somebody. Now, Pops thinks that before, and I think this is a good thing. Instead of just inviting 10 to the Mets game and whatnot, he's like, look, I'm just going to invite him over to see if he fits into my world. And I think that's actually a good point, because he and Dr. Reed talk about it on the podcast. And I get it. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. You don't see, some people are just way too quick to call somebody their friend, where it's like, look, we might just be acquaintances or something like that. I'll say, hey, when I see you, but we don't really hang out like that. So, yeah, he invites him over, but it turns out he and 10 don't really gel together well. And before he goes on his way, Pops notices his class ring, and it turns out they both went to the same high school. And he's like, yeah, you know, your house is a bit too spacious. You got anything smaller? So they go to the closet, or his pantry, and then to the attic. And essentially, I don't know if he was joking or not, but he claims he was born in like a jail cell or something like that. And that could explain why they clicked in the elevator, because he's used to small, enclosed spaces, kind of the opposite of being claustrophobic. He doesn't like big, open, wide spaces. So yeah, they just clicked, and he just kept doing that noise. But even though these two clicked, Pops decided, nah, I'm not really, he's an elevator friend. I'm cool with him if I see him in passing, but we don't need to hang out like that. So after Preston leaves Junior and Nina's house, Pop's like, hey, you got time? You want to hang out? I was like, nah, I mean, after everything that went down with Nina tonight, I think it's best I stay with her. So then Pops actually invites Dr. Reed to the game, and they end up on a kiss cam. And when it looks like they're about to kiss, Dr. Reed just stands up and starts chugging her beer, and everybody cheers. So I love how, yet again, they're putting breadcrumbs for an eventual relationship, but it's not rushed, and I'm completely okay with that. So let me know your thoughts if you watched this episode in the comment section below. Like I said, Paramount Plus, if you have it, you could stream all 10 episodes of the show. If you've never seen it but you want to get some thoughts, well, check out my Poppa's House playlist, because guess what? At this point, I've done reviews on every single episode. I don't think I've given too low of a score. I think one of them I gave like a 6 maybe, but overall this show is good. I definitely recommend it. It's like, what, 20 minutes per episode? Go ahead and check it out. So with that being said, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.